This is how it's going to be from now until the end of the season. I'm not too sure I can cope, in all honesty. But welcome, everybody. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. Thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I hope everybody's heart has calmed down. I feel like my T-shirt is very apt. Not me personally, but whatever. Wow. We are so good. We're so good as a football team. There's not a lot else you can say about that, really. Wow. I think if ever there was a definition of a game of two halves, then this is very much a game of two halves. When you look at certain elements of things like the momentum graph, it looks like we were all over them for the entire game, everything that goes with it as well. But just yet again, scoring late on, the fitness levels, the mentality of this team is just unbelievably good. The Firpo goal, the Tanaka goal, Piro's absolute thunder twat of a rocket of a goal to make it 3-1. I mean, you know, we're 2-1 up in the 90th minute, and you think to yourself, all right, no, we'll close up shop and we'll do it that way and everything will be fine. Oh no, not us. That's not the way that we operate or do business. No, we'll just go and attack you again, and Dan James will put on in the second assist for the evening with Pirot to score. It's nuts. I'm sat shell shocked, but I'm sat pleased at the moment overall, just because of the way the game actually went and was, and how well we all played. On FootMob, Firpo has gotten 8.8 as the star player. He got an assist and a goal tonight. Pirot with the goal. Dan James with 2 assists tonight. Joe Rodon was an absolute man-mountain. We do have to talk about Melié's own goal. I felt sorry for him. There was a lot leading up to that goal that could have stopped it from being... that could have prevented it from happening the way that it did. So Bogle letting the cross go in, and Bogle had probably his worst game, I think, overall. When you look at it in terms of, I think the occasion probably got to him slightly, maybe a little bit, which, you know, it's human nature. It's what can potentially happen in games like that. It's just one of those things in terms of the way that it happens. Initially, Meslier, it's a really good save. He jumps up to save it. Struijk tries to run in to get the ball off of him, and he palms it into his own goal. It's there, and you have to give Sheffield United absolute credit for the way that they played. Obviously, the news with regards to everybody else, you know, like Ampadu and stuff and things like that. Now that's proven that's going to be a bit of an injury. I think what that does now is that forces the hand to play Rothwell on a regular basis now, which I think is what we all want. I think we all agree that Rothwell and Tanaka is probably our best central midfield partnership. But just Sheffield United came at us. They were physical. They were strong. I think the way that they set up completely bamboozled us, and we didn't know how to cope for the first 20-25 minutes. As the first half went on, we started to get into it a little bit more. Solomon was looking lively and doing some good stuff. The little final ball things were going wrong again sometimes, which is one of those things that happens. And then it hits half-time. And I swear to God, some people shouldn't support a football team if they can't support a team at its lowest. By all means, be annoyed at the performance. By all means, be annoyed at that. But just some of the tweets, yet again, that you're seeing. This is why you buy players in January. This is why, you know, this is same Leeds United team, same bottle jobs, all of that kind of stuff. And it's like, do you not watch this team this season at all? The mentality that we have is absolutely phenomenally good. And we proved it tonight. And you have to give credit to Farke in terms of the little tweaks that he made. So the substitutions on 60 minutes absolutely made a massive difference. We bring Joseph on and we bring Rothwell on. Take Aronson off and take Gruev off. Aronson's position was then filled by Peru. We kind of almost went 4-4-2, but it wasn't kind of like that. It was more kind of maybe 4-4-1-1-ish, if you like. And then what Joseph was doing, and I have to give him praise for it, is that he was then instantly giving Peru space to get the ball run into, to make changes and decisions, to be able to, either feed somebody off or take shots, that type of thing. And Peru was exploiting the space really, really well. And then obviously Dan James remembers that he can cross a ball. Firpo's there to head it in. We then get the corner. Sexy Pirate's there to nod it on. Tanaka's at the back stick to head it into the goal. Brilliant. We're all ecstatic. We got the second goal, it went in, and I tweeted out, I just went, fuck off. We're not doing this again. It's almost like that season when we did the Blackburn, and then we did, what was it? It was Blackburn and then Aston Villa. Just nuts. And then rather than sitting on it, we then go and attack, and it's 3-1, points are saved, and Peru just makes an absolute screamer. The away end looked absolutely brutal, which was just fantastic to see. Then there was a report of, I think, a Sheffield United fan coming onto the pitch to then have a go at our coaching staff, and then the coaching staff was then taken. This guy was then taken off. Well, I mean, that's going to be him banned for life. I understand we all get a little bit thingy with football, but just that now puts us 5 points clear overall. So the 2-point thing that people have gone on about with regards to Sheffield United, technically we're now 3 points clear. But that really puts us in such a strong position. When you look at it overall in terms of the game itself, if ever there was a game of metaphorical two halves, this was 100% it. And I mentioned it on Jer's stream, that when you look at it in terms of the first half, expected goals in the first half for Sheffield United was 1.09. Ours was 0.28. In the second half, theirs went down to 0.13. And our expected goals went up to 1. We had 12 shots in the second half. 50% of those were on target. 3 big chances, and we bury all 3 big chances. 1 big chance missed as well. So just overall was just fantastic to see. And my biggest concern, and I mentioned it in my preview, was the aerial duels. And again, I mentioned this in Joe's podcast. But Sheffield United are really, really good at aerial duels. Fantastically good at aerial duels. We outdid them on aerial duels. They got 41% of the aerial duels won. We won 60. I think that is big for us as well. I think certain players in Sheffield's team didn't do very, very well. I don't think Hamer played very, very well. I don't think Brenton Diaz played very, very well. Raksaki's name was kind of not really mentioned very much or very often, and we did a good job of nullifying that overall. From a possession point of view, 58% for us, 42% for them. It was just, it's one of them games where you just think we've had, when you look at it on the face of it, over the last, we've won our last 5 league games overall. So 3-1, 2-1, 4-0, 2-0, 7-0. That's what we've done over those last 5 games. We have scored 18 goals and conceded 2 in that period, which is just nuts. So we're now up to 71 goals scored this season, 21, conceded. So we now have a goal difference of 50. We're on 75. We've got a, 7-point gap to third, 5 points above Sheffield United. So Sheffield United and Burnley, and there's some tough games for those guys coming up. I'm so proud of the mentality of this team that we have, and that Farke is seemingly getting it right at the moment. I was confident. I wasn't confident after the first 25 minutes, and then We got the draw. I was happy. I said, look, I'll take the draw. It means that we're still top. It puts another point on us above Burnley, all of that kind of good stuff. But just the form that we're in at the moment is nuts. It's absolutely nuts in the league. We have not lost a league game since the 30th of November. So for nearly the best part of 3 months, we haven't lost a league game. We have a very, very tough game coming up next against West Brom, who are currently sitting 5th at the moment. Should be an interesting game at Ellen Road. We're kicking off early again, which is doing my nutting in terms of when our games are getting played. But, that, again, is what it is. It's just you have to deal with the dice. The biggest issue is obviously with Ampadu and his injury, and hopefully that's not season ending for him, but I suspect that it might be. It's cartilage damage, isn't it? So it's just one of those things. It's difficult to sit here and I think I'm in shock more than anything, just because of that's 2 Mondays in a row we've done that exactly the same thing. I'm not going to sleep tonight. I know a lot of other people aren't going to sleep tonight. It's just mental. I absolutely love my football club at the moment, and we have to enjoy this. We have to enjoy this experience. We have to enjoy what's going on this season. We have to enjoy the way that everybody is contributing at the moment overall. So you've got, Peru, 15 goals, 6 assists. Dan James, 10 goals, 8 assists. Solomon, 7 and 7. Aronson, 8 and 2. Tanaka, 2 and 3. Firpo, 8 assists now for Firpo, 1 goal, 5 goals for Strauch, 1 goal for Rodon, 2 assists for Bogle, and 4 goals. That's nuts. That's nuts in terms of spreading the goals around, where we were more reliant on one player last season. So that's going to do it for this one. I've got nothing else to say. Lightning does strike twice. Comment if you want to put comments on. Take care of each other. Most importantly, take care of yourself. Try and go and have a Pepto-Bismol. Try and go have some form of nighttime drink that will make you feel sleepy tired. A Bovril. Go have a Bovril. And, or a Mellow Birds. Jesus, that shows how old I am. Thank you for stopping by. I genuinely do appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.